morning from Beijing. It's 7 a.m. and it's -3 degrees outside today. I'm heading to some local places to try, oops, nearly got run over by a bicycle, to try some traditional Beijing food. Some of these I haven't actually tried before, so we'll be finding out together what it's like. I'm going to take the subway to the first place. So it's Saturday, which explains why there's no commuters, because now would probably be rush hour. Lucky number 8, and we're going to this place, Luzhu. Okay, we're going to pay by cash because we can. I'm walking from the station now. It's really cold. So the place that we're going to is called Yuan. The name of the dish is Chao, which literally translates as fried liver, but actually it's boiled, not fried, and it contains intestines as well, and a bit of garlic. This is my first time trying it, and I'm not generally a big fan of offal, so we'll see. It doesn't smell too strong. It's like quite gloopy, because it's got quite a lot of starch in it. And traditionally, you're supposed to eat it with bao and dip it in the soup. Let's try the soup first. It's not too bad actually, it's quite good. It's if you don't think too much about what you're eating, it's actually quite good. It like slightly smells of offal, but like only if you really sniff it, so it's not too bad. It's quite salty. I think they put a lot of soy sauce in the soup, so it's actually better than I expected. That looks like intestine, and that one looks like liver. I feel like this is an anatomy lesson. Okay, so you're supposed to dip the bao in the soup. So this one's, I think, this one's egg and dill. It's very hearty. I also got some other things to dip the bao in. This is mustard. This is chili oil. And this is, I think, radish? Yeah, it's radish. And I've mixed some vinegar in the mustard, which is what the sign said to do. And then you're supposed to dip the bao in that. It's mustard. It's a bit weird. I've never actually used this to eat bao with before. This one's a pork one. I think I prefer dipping it in the stew. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of this. So the intestines taste slightly fatty, and then it's good for like 2 seconds, and then it tastes slightly nauseating. I like the liver though. It's quite dry and like kind of tangy. So the traditional way to eat this, or the proper way, is to drink it without a spoon. When in Beijing, I guess. This was a bad idea. You can tell I start to feel sick round about now. I don't think I'm a fan of the intestines. I think I'm done. I'm actually done. Actually, I'm going to try and finish it. I can't eat it. So I've had like maybe a third of it, and I feel kind of sick now. So I think I'm gonna stop. Yeah, I know, I'm disappointed in myself too. I think verdict is that the liver is quite good. Maybe it's because I've had liver before, so that's something that I'm more used to. But the actual intestines, they're like too fatty, and it's a bit nauseating. So I don't think I'm going to be trying this again, but I'm glad I tried it. Okay, let's go to the next stop. We came to this place for something called Mending肉饼. It's like a meat pie, and Mending means doornail, so it literally means Doornail Meat Pie. In traditional Chinese stores, the doornails are like these huge yellow metal things, so it kind of does look like that. Apparently, Dowager Empress Sisi really likes these. So when the lady brought these to the table, she said, careful because it has like hot juice inside. This is made of beef. Yeah, the lady was right. There's like loads of juice. So it's got beef and I think onion and leek. It's really good. Really messy to eat though. These are 10 yuan each and I ordered 3. Thankfully I have a helper, but he's a bit camera shy, so he's not going to be appearing in the video. Maybe in a future video. Comment if you want him to be in the video. It's a messy business eating Mending肉饼. So I finished eating and the juice that's left in the plate has kind of already solidified. You can see that the lard is solid. I mean, it's a slightly cold day, but we are indoors, but it has already turned solid, which is kind of gross.
Not the healthiest thing in the world.
So the sun's come out a bit now, but it's still super cold, so I bought a hat and gloves.
Now let's head to our third location of the day for another very popular dish in Beijing called Luzhu Huoshao.
I've got a bowl of Luzhu, and it's basically a soup with offal again. So I've got some intestines and some tofu as well, and a tiny bit of pork belly. And it's topped with coriander and garlic. Let's see how it tastes. This is supposed to be the best place for this dish in Beijing, according to Huoshao, which is like Chinese Instagram. So the stew is really rich. It's like quite salty, but like in a good way. So this dish was created in the Qing dynasty. It was created for Emperor Qianmen, who, if any of you guys have watched Princess Returning Pearl, that's the emperor who's the dad in there. And basically later it became popular for regular citizens, but pork belly is an expensive ingredient, so they replaced it with offal. And now it's one of the most popular street foods in Beijing. Large intestine. In the other one, I wasn't a fan, but maybe this one's better.
Nope, it was not.
I think this is lung. I think you can see the bronchioles, so I think this is lung. Lung is good. This is tofu. So this is the bean, which is like a flatbread, and it's served in the broth to soak up all the juices.
So I actually quite enjoyed this dish, and as you can see, I managed to finish most of it except for the intestines. I think I still prefer the Emperor's version with pork belly though.
So I got this yogurt as a palate cleanser. That stew was quite good, but It's still awful, so it still had a bit of an aftertaste. So the yogurt comes in like, I think it's like a glass bottle, quite hefty, very refreshing. And it's got a picture of Temple of Heaven, which is actually where we're going next.
We're stopping at this next place for an afternoon snack.
It's called Chatang. It literally means tea soup, but this doesn't have tea or soup in it. It's made with fried flour and hot water, and then it's topped with sweet stuff.
Here they used a kind of millet flour. It's topped with osmanthus jam, sesame seeds, raisins, and hawthorn.
The lady who served it said not to stir it. It's sweet, but it's not too sweet, and it's quite wholesome. So you can see it's kind of like quite thick. It tastes like a bowl of Chinese porridge, but with sweet toppings. This was really good. As you can see, I finished it. I'd probably order another one, except that we have 2 more places to go. Now we're at our penultimate location for the day. We're at this place, which actually is in the Michelin Guide for Beijing.
As you can see, it was pretty popular, so we had to queue up to get a table. But the turnover was quite fast, so we only queued for about 10 minutes. We're here to try Zhajiang Mian, the most popular noodle dish in Beijing. Zhajiang Mian literally means fried sauce noodles. It's the signature noodle dish of Beijing, although interestingly, it actually originated from Shandong province. The toppings are served separately to the noodles for you to mix in yourself. Usually they're just placed on top of the noodles in the bowl, but we're in a fancy place today. So you start with mixing the sauce, which is made from yellow soybean paste and stewed with pork. It's very rich and thick. Next you add your toppings, which are raw sliced vegetables. The vegetables balance out the saltiness of the sauce. Here I've got some sliced cucumber, radish, soybeans, spring onion, carrots. I've also got some egg, which is a bit less common to find in Zhajiang Mian. You can also eat the noodles with pickled garlic, which seems to be a local favourite. It's sour, but also slightly sweet. They're clearly very proud of their noodles here. On the bowl it says, of 10 people that queue up, 6 will be old Beijingers. Now it's finally time to try the noodles. The noodles were perfectly springy and chewy, and they got the sauce spot on. This place was definitely worth the hype. Actually, I came back to eat here again because it was so good.
So we're heading to our last destination of the day for dessert. So I got 2 boxes, and they came with spoons and this funny looking packet, which is actually disposable gloves. So I'm going to try eating it with the disposable gloves.
Unfortunately, single-use plastic is practically unavoidable in China.
This dessert is called Lü Daguan. It's a glutinous rice roll that has red bean paste inside, and then the outside is covered in soybean flour. The name of this literally means rolling donkey, and it's because the outside, the soybean flour, looks like the back of a donkey that's rolled in the dirt. So let's give it a try. It's like not too sweet, and it's chewy. If you've ever had a mochi, it's a similar texture, but with the flour on the outside, which is really messy. I'm going to put this aside for now, and let's have a look at the second thing that I bought. Right, so the second snack that we have is this yellow jelly-like thing. It's called Wandou Huang. It's like a cake made from yellow peas. It's quite solid. So again, it's only like slightly sweet, tiny bit astringent. And it's quite refreshing. So that's the end of our street food day in Beijing. Which one of the foods did you like the best? Comment below. And would you eat the offal soup? Let me know in the comments.